Honey, what are you listening to?
Mom!
Your teen might not share everything with you, but teens share everything with each other. And certain everyday behaviors, like sharing food, drinks, or kisses, could mean sharing bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease, known as meningitis. Although meningitis is uncommon, about 1 in 10 who develop it will die. Ask your teen's doctor about missing meningitis vaccinations. Learn more at meningitis.com. Vaccination may not protect all recipients. Sponsored by GSK.
Mazda has been named Consumer Reports' safest new car brand. It starts with our approach. Every Mazda comes standard with proactive safety features, so you're more aware of what's around you, more focused on the road ahead, and ready before problems ever start. Mazda, more of what matters most to you. Go to MazdaUSA.com to learn more. Consumer Reports does not endorse or promote any product.
For the moments that matter, choose Curad Naturals. Infused with aloe vera and vitamin E, Curad Naturals bandages protect your unexpected scrapes, cuts, and burns while also moisturizing your skin. Find deeper relief with natural ingredients you can trust to start the healing. When life's surprises call for the best, choose Curad, a deeper level of care. Shop the full collection on Amazon or visit Curad.com to learn more.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Wynn. Welcome to How Are the Podcasts. And as you've probably heard over the summer, we've had a chance to do a few different types of pods that we might not get the chance to do as much of during the usual football season. Like we've had a couple of player interviews. We had George Clark on. We had Danny McNamara from Embrace. We've had pods on impending book releases. We've had the odd quiz thrown in there, and we've had a few Room 101s. But we have to go back to the middle of June since we last did an unpopular opinion pod. On that occasion, it was Gav who met up with a few of the lads. It was Kelvin, James and Andrew, I think, from going from memory at Sheepfolds. And they met over a beer to basically, laugh loudly at one of Andrew's unpopular opinions, which might get a mention today. But unfortunately, we're missing the beer today. But hopefully that shouldn't mean the opinions are any less weird. So without further ado, I need to introduce our people to voice their supposedly unpopular opinions. And first up, we have Andrew Smithson. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Mara. I mean, this is nothing different for me because all my opinions are unpopular. So yeah, just fire away. Have your Gareth Hall pops. That's fine.
See, the next thing I was about to say was, what could I have been referring to, Andrew?
Just a hunch, Chris. I thought it might be the Gareth Hall one.
Yes, you were the only Sunderland fan who loved the fact he launched the ball down the line every single time and it went out for a goal kick. And, if you like that sort of tactic.
Safety first, Chris.
Safety first.
No wrong with that.
Yeah. Go on, son. Get down that right. Oh, no, it's a goal kick. Oh, okay. I mean, basically, there used to be a fella in the full end who used to stand next to me, and every time Gareth Hall got the ball, he just went, that's a goal kick. And it was every single time. It would just be a bunch of chuckling people at the back of the full end. But anyway, I'm very interested to see what you've got today, so we'll see what's to come. But next up, we have Ant Waterson. Hello, Ant.
Hello, yes. I mean, to be fair to Andrew,
I'm liking this.
I was
going.
only a youth at the time. However, we've had worse. Like, you can't deny that. We've had a lot worse now than Gareth Hall.
Go on, the name one.
I'll put Angeleri out there, the right back. He was absolutely hopeless.
Yeah, true.
The Greek centre half, who was at Liverpool.
Oh, let's keep it at right backs. Let's keep it there.
The Greek, the Argentinian one, Angeleri, by a mile.
He's up
At least Gareth Hall could at least get the ball to kick it long. That lad couldn't do anything.
No, but out for a goal kick every single time.
Yeah, but they couldn't score. I think we've had worse. Greg Halford. I'll put Halford in there.
Okay, yeah. Stick him up there. Yeah.
No. Yeah. We're on your side. We're on your side, Gareth. We are, honestly.
Well, I'll give you one thing that I remember listening to that debate, and you were right in one thing. He actually, when he came on loan, he came as a central midfielder, and then he got sent off. Didn't he? Was it at Ipswich or was it
Leicester.
Leicester? Was it at Leicester?
I think
It was Shakerbin's debut.
Yeah, I think it was Gareth
Right.
Hall's first start or debut as well, which admittedly isn't going to do my case any good. But no, I've always loved you, and you've just proven it there. It's nice to have a fellow, sage football expert on with me who actually, can understand these things.
Listen to you lot. It's like a support group before you're about to go into your unpopular opinions.
I'll tell you what, Chris. Before we bring Jonny in, because obviously we can remember Gareth Hall. Johnny's only a wee pup, so obviously he can't really hasn't seen him play live. Can you remember a goal that Gareth Hall was directly at fault for?
Yes, Derby County away when he replaced Darius Kavitsky and he was going to break the consecutive appearance record. And Gareth Hall goes diving in, giving a penalty away at the baseball ground. I think it was, who was it? It was the Croatian fella who scored the penalty.
Igor Simic?
Yeah, might have been him. Or it was they had a midfielder, Ivanisevic or something like that.
Was that in the Premier League?
Yes, it was in last season at Roker Park. So yes, I can straight away within seconds. And
I remember that one now. one goal.
Well, and I'm sure it was a dive. Don't worry about it. Gareth Hall got the ball. I'm certain of it.
100%.
We had VAR. It wouldn't have been free. It wouldn't have been a penalty. We would have gone on and win the game.
It was an awful challenge. It was a nailed on penalty. And anyway, because this is a form of child cruelty, because you're influencing Jonny into thinking Gareth Hall was actually a decent player, I should introduce Jonny Hawley. Hello, Jonny.
Hello, Chris. Yeah, again, very glad this is an audio pod, not a video, because of the gestures I may have been making at certain web cameras as you were introducing us there. So, delighted to be here. They've let us out the creche, and I'm here.
Yeah, you were about to ring Esther Ranson on us, weren't you, basically, the child line, and saying that these are telling us that Gareth Hall was actually a decent player. See, they could see anything, and you might end up believing it, then telling
Never once said, did we ever once say that he was decent? You said he wasn't that bad. That's all we said. Never once. I don't disagree that he wasn't very good. Just saying he wasn't like I would have a top 10, if we do have a list of top 10 worst players I've ever seen at Sunderland, he'd be in the bottom 5. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be in the top 5.
How is that? How is that saying he's not that bad if he's in the West?
We've had worse players than him.
Oh, lads, this has been fantastic. Intro me last every time, because getting to just sit and watch you three at work there, breaking down that penalty that Gareth Hall gave away. That was incredible. That was brilliant to watch. I feel like I need to pay for tickets to see this.
Yes, exactly. And the thing is, that's the problem. We've said this before, but I can't remember what happened yesterday. I can't remember what the kids told us to get for them or whatever an hour ago. But no, I remember a challenge back in 1996, 97 that Gareth Hall made.
For a minute, I thought you were going to start being like, and it was in the 26th minute, 35 seconds had gone on the
clock.
The
first. I know it was the first half. I remember it was the first half. And I'm sure it was about 10 minutes in as well. Because everyone was like, oh, Gareth Hall, bloody hell. And Andrew was there, picked up his sports out and going, no, didn't knock Gareth Hall. Good player, him.
It genuinely was my first away game that game as well. So yeah, it's if anybody's qualified to speak on it, it should be me, because I had front row seats for the whole affair and flipping neck. I mean, you're talking about the Sports Echo when I got home. I'm sure the headline was 10 out of 10 for Gareth Hall. Unlucky Gareth Hall on the wrong side of shocking refereeing decision.
You know what as well, right? You know how we've always called Chris, we've called him the Oracle since I've known him, right? He's wrong on this. Wrong. They scored, and it was the 14th of September, 1997. They scored in the 84th minute.
Oh, was it late? Well, there you go. It's even worse.
No, and it was somebody called Asanovic who scored the goal. Dickie Ord was sent off in the 25th minute. Bet there was an thingy on Dickie Ord getting sent off in that game, but now it's all Gareth Hall's fault.
Well, exactly. You know, defend him well until he, throws himself in. Last 5 minutes. Should have stayed on his feet. But anyway, see, that was an unpopular decision from the last opinion from the last one. So we better get cracking with the ones that you're going to come up with now. So, gents, you've both got a Sunderland AFC specific unpopular opinion, and you've got one that is a general football one, all lined up. So what we'll do is, over 2 pods, we'll alternate between doing a Sunderland one and doing a general football one. Which means we're going to kick off. We're going to start with Ant's general football unpopular opinion. So the floor is all yours, Ant.
Right. So
that's an ominous giggle at the start of any of these sort of things.
Just bearing in mind that I've been at the music festival this last week and my brain's been frazzled by too much alcohol. So when
no, there's no defense on these things.
When Chris did bring this forward, I literally couldn't remember what I'd said I'd do and all this stuff. But this is my unpopular opinion. It might actually be popular amongst people, but this is my kind of opinion anyway. And my opinion is, within the next 5 years, so you've got until the 2030-31 season, that the linesmen or referees' assistants, sorry, I'll get it correct, the referees' assistants will not be there. We'll have done away with them. We're already halfway there. We don't need them for offsides anymore. Because let's face it, they don't give them. They literally, you see a player who's about 10 yards offside, runs through, scores a goal or collides with the goalkeeper or collides with the post if you're Nottingham Forest's and you're in the end, lacerates his liver or whatever will happen to him. And then the linesman decides to put his flag up, even though for a fact he's an absolute mile offside. So for me, let's just do away with them, do away with the referee's assistant, and make it like what it is at Wimbledon. And when the ball goes out, some random thing shouts on the speakers and goes, "Out!" Right? And then the referee just goes, right, throw in.
That was an excellent bark of out, by the way, Ant.
That's what I wanted to be when I was young. I was wanted to be one of them line judges, and they got rid of them about 2 years ago at Wimbledon. I was devastated. I'm never going to be.
It's never too late to start, is it?
Well, it is now.
It is. It's new job.
So for me, just get away with the whole thing. Sod your flags and just put some. We've got the technology. We've got goal line technology now, haven't we? So that the referee's little buzzer goes off. So when it goes out, something goes on. The speaker or something says out like that, and then the only thing I need to kind of perfect on this is which side of the throw-in it is, or it's red ball, green ball, or whatever. You know what I mean?
So who's going to decide who would hit off last?
Well, I haven't perfected that yet, Chris. That's the
all right.
It's a work in progress. That's the only thing. But I mean,
could we not open it to a vote? So if you're in the ground, or if you're at that part of the pitch, you get to say, yeah, Sunderland throw in or whatever.
Well, we've got
everyone gets a flag, and you've just got half the crowd pointing that way.
Yeah. It'd be like can't cook, won't cook, wouldn't it? Is it a red pepper or
all the money they're saving on the Lino's salaries they can now spend on a flag under every seat in every ground across the country.
Yeah, maybe they should do it in the style of what Ainsley Harriott used to do when he used to add things to dishes and stuff like that.
Was it red pepper or green onion or something? Wasn't it? When you were can't cook, won't cook.
I think it was 2 peppers. I think wasn't it?
Was it? Oh, it was 2 peppers. But
that's something I'm going to have to find out later on now. And
exactly. And to be fair, we've got cameras everywhere, haven't we? There's cameras in the stadium, for VAR and stuff, and all it just says is, Sunderland ball or something like that.
So wait a minute. So your opinion is that these line judge people are just going to be redundant in everything else, and that's all they do, or
yeah. So basically, so Wimbledon don't have line judges anymore, right? It's literally when it goes out,
right?
There's this, I don't know if it's a speaker or something. I've never been to a tennis match, but there's a speaker that says it just shouts out, and it sounds like somebody in the crowd. It's not. It's literally they don't have line judges. They're not there anymore. They're not needed. Done. Technology
I haven't watched the tennis for years.
It's taken over tennis. It's taken over. So I think, what is the point of having referees' assistants? You know what I mean? Because we don't need them for offsides, as I said before. Penalties, it goes to VAR anyway, so they're not really needed for that. They're not really needed for, those those fouls that they give that's right next to them, well, they don't give them anyway now, the referee gives them. So even when it's right in front of a referee says, I'm going to call them linesmen and get wrong the sex to me. But when in front of the assistant official, they don't give it anymore. You know what I mean? The referee has to give it at least 25 yards away. You see it happen. And the lines used to always be like that, didn't they? Used to always be at the flag. Now they don't. They're not allowed to make decisions anymore. Let's just do away with it.
So where's who gives the signal for an offside?
The VAR. We've got a semi-assisted offside now, haven't we?
So is that another shout as well?
Yes. Yes. Offside, yes.
Off. All right, I thought that was the second word. I thought I missed the first one.
That's what everyone will be shouting in response when it calls us offside.
Well, if there's someone in the crowd with a nervous disposition, without they
shouldn't be coming to Sunderland then, should they? They've got a nervous disposition.
We don't care about that anymore now, anyway, because they had that thing when we had the light show, didn't we, a couple of years ago? We had the light show and they said, anyone with epilepsy, fuck off, basically, because basically you can't be in the ground on that.
So, the caring club.
We don't care about that. So anyone who's got Jonny's right. Anyone's got a nervous disposition shouldn't be supporting Sunderland Football Club in the first place, because it's doesn't exactly, I'm only 28 and I'm bald and I've got all this stuff. So just I do away with it. Just completely do away with it. Just let the referee and we've got cameras everywhere. We've got VAR. Just let them all crack on.
There you go.
If someone clips Ant out of context there, they're going to make him out to be some sort of raging anti-epilepsy kind of, seriously bigoted.
Well, I have to admit, I did forget about that official, very blunt statement that Sunderland put out before that light show that Ant's just stated. But
might as well have just said that. But if you've got epilepsy, you're not enjoying it.
You'll not enjoy it. You might enjoy it. You just can't look at it, do you, mate? So, Jonny, Andrew, give your last thoughts on this opinion that we're going to do away with linesmen and it's just going to be a noise.
Well, the thing that I would say that I agree with, the part of this that I agree with is linos don't make decisions anymore anyway. I think, a few of us have already alluded to it, but me and my dad have got a running joke now where every home game will be like, right, we're going to keep adding to the running tally of decisions the linos down this side of the pitch have made all season. We'll be on single figures by the end of the season because they give nothing. Every time, throw-ins are supposed to be their call. The amount of times you see a ball go out 2 yards away from a lino and he's just stood, just waiting, flag limply by his side. And then the ref puts his hand up and suddenly, that flag is up quicker than you can say, well, what Ant said earlier at the end of his statement. And also, linesmen, the other crucial function that they provide, is don't forget we need somebody to instantly wave the flag as aggressively as if somebody's just died when a defender flops to the ground after an attacker gets within 5 feet of the back of them. So, we've got a couple of crucial things that we need to try and cover. Who's going to add the melodrama when somebody goes down as if they've been shot? That's a crucial role in football that we need to fill, but he's got 5 years to make it work, so I'm behind him.
Yeah, Andrew, any last thoughts?
I definitely agree that at the moment, liners in the Premier League they're just decoration. Bless them. They're getting paid to get a perfect view of a Premier League football match. Who checks the studs when a sub comes on now? Is that the fourth official?
Fourth, yeah.
So why?
See, I'm not advocating to get rid of him because he's got a very important job. 2 jobs, actually. He needs to check the studs as what. In fact, 3, to be fair. He needs to check the studs. He needs to get involved when managers are going to fight each other because there's always a poor fourth official. That's in the middle. And also, he's got a big thing to lift up, and so who brings on the subs and all that stuff. So the fourth's fine.
And that's a good point about the fighting. I'll just quickly say about checking the studs. When I say check the studs, they give it the most cursory.
They just look and they go, there's some studs there. Yep, there's some studs there. Get them, mate.
Yeah. But we need, sorry, Chris, I was going to say we perhaps need liners if Argentina are playing, just for when it kicks off at the end and the referee needs a bit of like backup for when the punches start flying and that. He needs a couple of liners alongside him to even up the numbers.
Yeah. Well, we're off and running with that first one, and I have to try and keep myself out of the habit of not putting something into room 101 or something like that. So we'll leave that one there, and I think that's a good chance for us to take a quick break. So we'll be back very soon.
If your business runs on 5 different apps, 12 browser tabs, and one spreadsheet that everyone's afraid to touch, it's probably time for Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that connects every part of your business into one powerful, easy-to-use platform. So instead of wasting time switching between disconnected systems, your entire business works together in real time. Your team moves faster, your data stays accurate, and you can actually focus on growing your business. Let one unified system run your entire business. From the first opportunity to the final payment, everything works together in one place. Whether you're a small business or managing a large operation, Odoo gives you one flexible platform built to grow with you. Learn more at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Honey, what are you listening to?
Mom!
Your teen might not share everything with you, but teens share everything with each other. And certain everyday behaviors, like sharing food, drinks, or kisses, could mean sharing bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease known as meningitis. Although meningitis is uncommon, about 1 in 10 who develop it will die. Ask your teen's doctor about missing meningitis vaccinations. Learn more at meningitis.com. Vaccination may not protect all recipients. Sponsored by GSK.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. The MLB at Field of Dreams returns. Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies face Byron Buxton and the Minnesota Twins at the iconic Field of Dreams ballpark. The field is calling. Watch the MLB at Field of Dreams game live on Netflix Thursday, August 13th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific.
For the moments that matter, choose Curad Naturals. Infused with aloe vera and vitamin E, Curad Naturals bandages protect your unexpected scrapes, cuts, and burns while also moisturizing your skin. Find deeper relief with natural ingredients you can trust to start the healing. When life's surprises call for the best, choose Curad, a deeper level of care. Shop the full collection on Amazon or visit curad.com to learn more.
And welcome back to How We're the Podcast. And we're looking at unpopular opinions, general football or Sunderland specific. And we've had Ant's first one, which was, I think, like replacing Linesmen with somebody shouting, basically. But we'll get into the next one because next up, and I am looking forward to this one and how this one goes because we have Andrew's Sunderland AFC related unpopular opinion.
I think I must have a death wish here.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, everybody, but the Sunderland Songbook is shocking.
Look at Johnny's face.
That's a worry because Jonny's normally my biggest defender, and I've not even got him in my corner now. I suddenly feel as if I need a couple of linesmen by my side.
I'm glad you said "men" at the end of that. I was thinking, bloody hell, Andrew.
I know I do often run the risk of making myself the most unpopular person in the Sunderland fan base because I am quite critical, but hey ho, it needs saying. I just think some of the chants that get sung at games I don't know, there's too much of it's generic. There's not enough variety. I think I've said before, I think I've spoken to a couple of years, my opinions on My Garden Shed, for example. I just think that is painful. In general, the away support is better. And there's been a couple of good songs, couple of good chants in recent months, particularly anti-Newcastle stuff. But just a lot of the stuff at home, it's the same old tunes, but you just tweak it to include a current day player, or it's like generic stuff that other clubs use and we've just nicked it. It's a bit of a shame we've lost Mayenda because that was one of our best chants, if you ask me. Surprise, surprise. I would like us to roll out a few of the old classic hits. Some of the old proper traditional chants from Roker Park and that.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about Cilla Black when you said surprise, surprise for a second.
Hey, she had a canny voice on her. If she wants to lead the chanting, she's more than welcome.
I think you've just done a Brazil there. I was going to say you had two stories there.
So let's get this right. We've had Cilla Black. What else have we spoken about today that's been nothing to do with unpopular opinions? We're on about something earlier that had nothing to do with football.
Andrew, can you just go into detail of which songs you don't like? Just because I'm with you a little bit, but I need you to swing us a little bit more.
I refuse to sing. And that's for everybody's benefit. So no, and I can't.
No, I don't want you to sing.
He nearly had you there.
I don't want you to sing the songs. I just if there's a specific one that you really don't like. You mentioned the Garden Shed one, which I'm with you with, because people must have fucking huge garden sheds. We've sang the Hillsborough ones.
Yeah, well, they've got a lane 3 or a lane 4. But
48,000 seater full of compost in the back garden.
Thanks, Andrew, for getting that one. But I was just about to say with that one, I've genuinely had a couple of people from supporting other clubs on nights out and stuff like that who have said that chant when Sunderland come and sing it. That is generally witty and give them a bit of a laugh.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, well, fair dues.
I mean, I'm talking about 2 or 3 over the course of 25 years.
Yeah. I just that particular chant I really don't like because it's proper. Oh, it's just like, man, lads, wind your necks in. But I am a misery guts and I don't like anybody having fun, as we've established several times before. I like the old school stuff, when everyone's doing like a constant rolling, how are the lads and all of that. I like that type of stuff and stuff that's particularly to Sunderland. And for example, he's one of our own. Sunderland just use that chant for any player who's vaguely from the area, like every club does. If you want to praise our players, let's think of something that's unique to them. And Christ, we haven't got anything for Enzo Lefebvre, I don't think. Have we?
Yeah.
Have we got an Enzo Lefebvre song?
We've got Lefebvre, yeah.
Of course.
To be fair to Andrew there, that is just another recycled one that everyone sings if they've got a player who fits the syllables.
Yeah. I had forgotten that song, but yeah, it's as generic as you can get. I don't think we've got anything for Nordi Mukiele.
We have.
You don't go like this. Doesn't help when you don't know the song.
Nordi's the one who used to play with Lionel Messi, but he said he was shy, so he jumped on a flight and now he plays for Reds, which is generic, but it's still quite a good song.
All right. Do you know why I don't hear the chants? It's because the tannoy keeps saying, out. I never get to hear the chant. I think for Regis Labris, I think we've only got a pretty lame one for him as well. I've forgotten how it goes.
So, Andrew, are you saying this is a modern day thing, or do you think we've always had crap songs? Because I go back to I remember kind of Cheer Up Peter Reid, of course, started on the terraces and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, do you think we don't make up enough new ones now? Is that?
I think that's what it is. I liked the old ones where you could hear like the accent in the chant and they're like the proper guttural, Sunderland proper booming out and chanting, and you had individual songs for players. Whereas now there's just a lot of like, who are you? And all of this, or if the linesman does something or a player hits a shot wide, it's like, oh, what the fucking hell was that? It's all just a bit like, you could hear this if you were playing like a computer game it would be the chants that would come up on the computer game. I just think our support is amazing, and there's some proper, clever, creative, and downright funny people in the support. So can we not just mix it up a bit and have a bit more, just something a bit more Sunderland when we're making our noise?
So going back, what's your favourite chant then? What's your favourite one that Sunderland have come up with?
There's a lot of anti-Newcastle ones from back then. Why do we? Actually, I'm not sure if this is problematic. But why do we not sing "There's a Circus in the Town" anymore?
Yeah, It's funny that one's disappeared, doesn't it?
I'm running round the lyrics in my head. I don't think we say anything problematic now. Or when everybody used to spell Newcastle, an N and an E and
yeah.
C. And then at the end, everyone would say "F right off you, black and white."
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just a bit. It was just something a little bit different.
Well, there's ones that have gone through the decades and generations, like on the banks of the River Wear.
Yeah. I will fight for Sunderland.
Yeah. And I imagine if you talk to Kelvin, he'd probably remember singing that in the terraces when he was a kid, and I remember it. And Jonny's nodding along there, so they're singing in the creche at the minute. So I mean,
it's good for your jolly phonics.
Nursery time.
Yeah. Right, let's get the book of Sunderland. Let's get the songbook open.
Just the one where you just say Sunderland, like Sunderland, but everybody's got the accent and everybody's like proper belting it out. Admittedly, that is fairly unimaginative, just repeating the name of the team over and over again. But just, I think we've got an amazing support, and we do make a lot of noise when the mood is right. But let's just see if we can mix it up, particularly at the stadium. Let's give the lads even more backing and let them know that we're all, we love all the players to bits.
All right. Well,
I just want to chuck. I want to chuck Andrew Bourne there as well, because you've not mentioned something I thought you were going to mention, which is the thing that this does get a lot of people up and singing, and usually stood as well. But my God, it's boring. And it's Sunderland FC, where by far, we get it. Every single 3-syllable club in the whole country sings this song.
Oh, I don't know. There's some clubs with more syllables who try to crowbar it in, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, are we the best team in the world? I don't think we are.
Yes.
I love us, but I love us, but could we not, like Andrew said, could we not focus on some of the stuff that is actually good about Sunderland?
Funnily enough, talking about going to Derby as my first away game, that used to freak me out when we first started going to away games, and teams would sing that chant, but it was to a ever so slightly different tune, and I'd be like, what is this? I'm in a different world. I can't compute this.
Yeah. My only memory actually of the baseball ground was being next to their version of the Roker Rookies, and they would just shout Derby in the highest pitch voice you could ever imagine, just constantly for 90 minutes. And I think in the end, a lot of people got sick of them. But just to throw it across to Jonny and Anfer, just to sum this up, is it an unpopular opinion? And is he right?
Well, the problem being he tripped himself over a couple of times there, didn't Andrew? And you know what? I love
just
Andrew.
A couple, and just a couple. I think it was more than that, to be fair.
He ran on about he didn't like repetitive songs, but then the one he wants back is just us singing Sunderland all the time.
I forgot about that one.
So that was a little bit like that. That's the first one. The second one was because we've got some really clevers, especially this the last season that's just gone, like the Granite Jack Award and all that stuff. I know it's nicked, but I think we've got some really good songs for our players.
Well, the best songs are nicked, aren't they?
Yes. But also because I'm at the opposite side of the anti-Newcastle stuff. So the anti-Newcastle stuff for me, the Shearer is a wanker one. He's been retired 20 fucking years. You know what I mean? Can we not say someone else is a wanker? Like Bruno Guimaraes or somebody.
Well, he's not going to be.
Whoever they've got left.
Choose to sign, like Shearer's, move on from the Shearer stuff. Move on from, that's probably about, it's the only one we ever sing about, isn't it? But, so that kind of thing, but yeah, I think some songs are a bit bottom. Like, I don't like the We Hear Geordie's one, the Think We're Alone Now one, because it just sounds so boring. It's like, we hate Geordies, everybody hates fucking Geordies. I just don't like that one, but...
Sorry, Chris. Sorry.
Go on. No, go on, Andrew. Finish that off.
I was going to say, I think half of our support probably are Geordies, or is certainly a good percent.
Now you're in danger. Don't start saying stuff like that.
Well, a percentage, but when you think of South Tyneside, Northumberland, or proper heartlands, I do actually agree in that sometimes we don't need to be singing about the Mags, but if we are going to sing about the Mags, I like the Voltamada one, and I think there's one about you laughed at us when we were shite and that. They're at least something a bit different.
Yeah. I think some of them from this season have been very, very good, especially since the Voltamada and the Robbie one, which I think are both brilliant songs. But I'm like kind of like the Shearer one, I'd get rid of straight, but I don't particularly care to sing that one because 20 years ago.
Yeah, I get your point as well, but it is funny when he tells stories that he's sitting in the carriage on a train and there's a carriage full of Sunderland fans singing it. And he's trying to sit there and not attract any attention to himself.
I will say, and I'm going to ask you this question now, Chris. My offside idea from the bridge doesn't sound so bad anymore, does it?
Just on that Shearer chant, seeing as it's been brought up, I might be extremely naive and I've just been brought up in a sheltered household. What exactly is a wanker's hat?
Just look on top of Shearer's head and you'll find out.
Yeah. Do you remember, I think it was an FA Cup third round game a couple of years ago, and he had a proper daft hat on Twitter, didn't he? Cheers. So I'll take it back to great song.
The thing is, part of me doesn't disagree with you, Andrew. But what I would say is actually, I think with the Voltamada one and which other one am I thinking of? The Mayenda one. Actually, I think we've probably come up with the best two chants we've come up with for a long time over the last couple of years. But I don't disagree with you at all.
Just to add on to that slightly as well, I actually think, Andrew, you're basically completely spot on, but you're a season out of date or 2 seasons out of date, because for the 15 or so years before that, we only had about 3 players we even liked. So no one was getting songs made about them anyway. Whereas now that we've actually got a team that we like, suddenly Naughty's got a song and Granite's got a song and Wilson's got a song and,
Johnny's got
really like Ahmad, wasn't it? Like the Diablo one, the Villeneuve one, which was a really, really good song. One that mentioned the one that I sang before, but you got that one. But you're right, that was probably because who's going to sing a song about I don't know, fucking
Callum McFadden.
Or someone along those lines, or George Dobson, whatever he was called. Yeah, fair play.
Go on, Andrew.
I was just going to say, if anybody saw my wardrobe, I would definitely take "You're a couple of years out, Johnny." Because normally there's a lot more years I'm out of date by, so I can live with that. I do take that point, gents. It probably is better than it had been in some fairly recent years. So I just more or less say, particularly when we're in Europe, can we show the Europeans some true Sunderland style?
Have a chant in every language.
I do think you're right, Andrew, about the kind of core rotation of chants, the non-player ones, if you know what I mean. Like, we're by far the greatest team and, all them kind of ones. I don't think we've got the best stock rotation of chants. There's other clubs who do that a bit better, I think. Like Manchester United, as much as you can hate a lot of things about them as a club, their hardcore fan base is very good and very original. They're like
good away fans.
Yeah, away following especially has always been absolutely top class. So we can definitely improve, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go into our last one for this part, and we have Johnny's general football unpopular opinion left.
Right. So my unpopular opinion is that defensive football is more impressive, more difficult to do, and I would maybe even say better to watch than attacking football is. And I think last season there was a perfect case study to illustrate this, right? Which was that Bayern Munich PSG Champions League semi-final. Was it 5-4 one of the games was, the first leg, I think? By the time it gets to, 7, 8, 9 goals flying in a game, does it not just devalue a goal? Like, to me, I was watching that game, and don't get us wrong, some of the football that was being played was really impressive, and, the top-class players and, the Harry Kane and Michael Olise and all these lads. But when nearly every attack goes in, I just stop appreciating the attacking play there. I'm like, well, is it that hard? If 9 other lads have also scored in this game, is it that difficult? Whereas by contrast, was it the season before, I think? There was the game Arsenal at Man City in the league where Arsenal got a sending off just before half-time. So the entire second half, they just went 10 men behind the ball and City were attacking them the whole half. And I think John Stones ended up scoring an equaliser to make it 2-2 in injury time. That second half of that game was a fascinating watch. You never get to see that. Proper, genuine, disciplined, and also like the best 2 teams in the Premier League at the time. So it's high quality footballers as well doing it, which helps. But that was a brilliant watch. I was engrossed in that whole second half. I couldn't take my eyes off it. Whereas when the goals start flying in left, right, and centre, I'll look at my phone or I'll potter around and have a cup of tea or whatever. Like, I'll look back at the screen. There'll be another goal gone in, but it won't matter because another one will go in 2 minutes after that. So, yeah, a rambling way of saying I prefer watching defensive football. And I actually think if most people were honest with themselves, they'd probably agree.
Yeah, well, look, you're tugging at my heartstrings because the amount of conversations I have to have, because I work a lot with Americans, and the amount
commiserations.
The amount of conversations I have to have to persuade them into the beauty of a really good 0-0 draw. And once you get past explaining what nil is, then they look at you as if you're stupid because it's not a good game over there unless it's like, I don't know, 25-21 or something like that. I don't even know if that's a possible score in the NFL, but I'll throw some big numbers out there. But like a good thing, but it suggests to them that nothing's happened. And I can't remember. I remember speaking to someone during the World Cup, and it was can't remember whether it was England's semi-final or the final itself. But it was 0-0 at half time, and actually I was going, it's a fascinating game that. And they were going, but nothing's happened. They went, yep, 45 minutes of football's happened. Every position on the pitch is trying to work each other out. Everybody's trying to find weaknesses. And when you watch it like that, and it's like 2 sides like patiently looking for that gap and where are the weaknesses? Where should we play this pass? How should we pull that one out and all this sort of stuff? But there's a difference because you're saying it's more impressive. You're not saying it's more entertaining, are you?
Well, I'm kind of saying both, but yeah, but I think the inarguable part, really, if people look at it honestly, is it is a lot harder to build a defensive unit and to be a top-level defensively solid team than it is to score goals. Because look at the World Cup, right? France had by far and away the best attack in the world in terms of individuals. Mbappe, Olise, Dembele, Doué, Barcola, Cherki, Jean-Philippe Mateta, all on the same level as each other. But they had.
Lefebvre would have still improved them.
They're good enough they could leave Lefebvre out of the squad, right? Which tells you how good they are. But that embarrassment of riches and wealth of stars was unable to break down Spain, in large part because Spain are such an incredibly well put together and well drilled unit of players. They're a team, right? And it's the defensive solidity and stability, along with obviously Spain's, in particular, their ability to keep possession as well and be able to kind of dominate the game in that way. But France couldn't score against them. And I think that's because Spain are a better team, and therefore the more impressive thing in being able to bring together a squad and get something out of them. It's more impressive if you can make them, because you don't just have to be tactically good. You also have to instill such a desire in the players to be able to work for each other. And, just look at Sunderland last season. How much did we all spend time talking about how impressive it was that Lebris had everybody buying in and, covering for each other and putting the hard yards in and, making last-ditch tackles and blocks and all that kind of stuff. I think that's far more difficult, especially in the modern era now where, how many times do you hear managers and coaches on sort of podcasts or whatever, they'll come out and be like, well, the modern players, that they're not willing to sit down and listen for as long as players used to be, and their attention spans are shorter, and, they don't necessarily want to muck in and do the hard work because they're all dreaming of being the next sort of TikTok clip that gets 10 million views of pinging one in the top corner. So with all that being said, I think, a manager who can put together a strong defensive unit, to me, is a better manager than somebody who just gets goals coming out the team.
Yeah, as long as they don't use the words low block in the podcast, then I'm turning them off, basically. What you sit back, dear. What people did 30 years ago, exactly the same. No, it's a low block. Yeah, that's what I said. You sit back. You sit on the edge of the box and you defend. Simple as that. No, low block. But Andrew, considering we are Sunderland fans with Regis Lebris as manager, who's played, let's say, pragmatic football, and which has been very successful and we've loved every minute of. And I'd like to think if you're a true kind of lover of football, you understand all of that goes into being not defensive, but very organised, and what that might do to a game in terms of entertainment. Is that really an unpopular opinion?
Well, I've literally been nodding my head like Churchill the Doctor, because I think he's absolutely spot on. And I always put back, you look at last season for us, arguably our best performance was when we drew 0-0 with Man City, which, was a brilliant defensive performance by ourselves. Erling Haaland, who scored, about 7 million goals in that season, couldn't get a look in. So yeah, that's a great point. And you bring back the Spain thing at the World Cup, conceded 1 goal in the whole tournament, went and won it. Kept clean sheets against France, Argentina, in the semi-finals and stuff, in the final. France then went on and got beat 6-2 or 6-3 off England.
6-4. Was it not 6-4 in the end? Mental game.
Yeah. So, they couldn't beat Spain then in England, who couldn't score that many against Argentina. Let them score 6. So, yeah, for me, you look at teams that have won leagues over the years have not conceded many goals. And if you've got a good defensive structure, then the forwards look after themselves, don't they? Because you've got class forwards, they'll all look after themselves. And you know what, the first thing you said was on about these games that end up like 7-3. We mentioned 6-4, it was a mental game. You get bored after the fifth, didn't you? You're like going, oh, another goal, get in. You know what I mean? Sunderland. So I'm with you, Johnny. I think that's a really good. I don't think it's unpopular. I think that's the only thing I can kind of tear you up over. I think you'll have had hundreds, thousands of people listening to this podcast. I reckon they might have nodded their head a little bit there. I think it's been the more plausible of the 3.
and there's Andrew nodding his head all the way through.
Oh, as is often the case, I'm sat here wishing I'd made all the points you 3 had made.
Oh, stop it, you.
No. I mean, at least you were able to back up your points with evidence, unlike my points, where I think a classic was, we don't have any song friends or Lafay. Oh, yes, we do. In fact, I know we do because I'll walk around the house chanting it to myself. Because I'm doing the chores.
I do that. Sunderland chants, I do that. Randomly, I'll find myself walking along, just
singing a song.
Yeah, singing a Sunderland song.
Walking along, singing a song.
I set you up for that one, didn't it?
Here's an admission. When I used to take the kids and put them to bed when they were like newborn babies, I would chant Sunderland's chants rather than like lullabies and that. I think one of them was still fairly new when Jibril Cisse was on loan at us, singing Jibril Cisse, Sunderland's number 9, to a poor newborn baby trying to get to sleep.
The still think living in a Gareth Hall world is a Christmas song.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly where Johnny's coming from. I don't know if it's more entertaining because it's stressful. Like that Man City game was a wonderful performance by Sunderland, but I was stressed at the time. I certainly think it's more impressive to be able to set your team up to defend and be solid. And I would extend it to players. I don't particularly like show ponies who do a few tricks and do a few nutmegs and beat their man. I get a bit bored of that, and I just think, will somebody not just bloody kick them up a height? I'm sick of them. Whereas if you've got like a proper dominating central defender or midfielder who bosses the game and has an engine and controls everything, and either might be able to score a screamer, but they're also just able to get the ball and hold on to it and battle somebody off it and all of that. I find that much more impressive to watch, personally speaking.
Yeah, just as well, because I didn't expect you both to agree with us quite that much, but to push on the possibly slightly more unpopular bit, I actually would maintain it is more entertaining, because you both mentioned the City game, right? That City game obviously finished 0-0, and we were defending for quite a lot of it. I know we had the odd break. How often did you take your eyes off the pitch during that game? Probably not very often, right? Like glued to every action, whether we had the ball, whether City had the ball, whether we were shuffling around in shape, whether we were trying to press, whether we were, when we had the ball when we were on the break. Compare that to when we turned Burnley over 3-0. Now, we were, quote unquote, better against Burnley because we scored 3 goals and we got 3 points and we won the game and all that.
Jonny did rabbit ears with his fingers there. I just want
to... Yeah, for the listeners, yeah. But, that game we supposedly played better, and, if you offer 2 people sort of without knowing anything else about the game, you can watch a 0-0 or a 3-0. I think most people on the street are picking the 3-0. That Burnley game was boring. Talby's goal was class, and the other 2 goals, I mean, they weren't even that good, but, we scored them, so I was happy. I wasn't exactly sat there in the 60th minute against Burnley, glued to the pitch, oh, God, who's got the ball? Oh, where are the Burnley players? Oh, where's our left back? Where's the right winger gone? Oh, is Hume covering in midfield properly? I was just, turning to my dad, having a bit of a natter, checking my phone.
It's funny because you didn't have an unpopular opinion until you've just said you don't like Sunderland beating people quite comfortably.
Ungrateful Sunderland fan can't enjoy 10 a penny 3-0 win at home
because they come round so often in the Premier League.
But which was more enjoyable to actually watch as a game of football?
There you go. See, now you push yourself into the unpopular opinion category, I think, with that last statement. But anyway, I think we should leave it there, gentlemen, because we've had 3 supposedly unpopular opinions, but it's going to be down to everyone else out there to tell us if they are actually unpopular and whether or not you actually agree with them or absolutely disagree with them. But it just leaves us to say thank you very much to Anne, to Andrew and Jonny for doing our part 1. We'll have a part 2 coming up. Of course, thanks again, everyone, for listening. We'll have their other picks in part 2, as we said, and we've got a couple of controversial picks coming up on that next part. So I'm looking forward to the lads getting into bother for those. But that's all we have for part 1. So until then, it's bye for now.